So. Hi, my name is Mikaela and I love playing The Sims. I quite recently started sharing my builds and my gameplay here on YouTube, and today we are gonna keep continuing working on my save file, or I hope so at least. I wanted to renovate this house and I just didn't want to renovate it for just whoever or a random sim. I actually have a plan in mind. It will be seen if that will actually happen, because as I have explained before, I like to play also in my save file while working on it and while building and renovating the houses and builds that already exist there. So I was thinking that this house would be a house for a sim I created for my save file called Erin Reyes. And if you watched my latest video, you have seen Erin with her family in her current house. She's married to her husband, Juan Carlos, and they have 4 kids together. However, Erin is having a small flirt with a co-worker who is Alice Spencer Kim. And I was thinking that maybe if that flirt will continue, it goes somewhere, that Alice and Erin would probably divorce their husbands and get married and move into this house. And because both of these sims are artistic sims, both are in the painter career, I had this thought that they are a little bit bohemian, quite colorful, and I wanted their house to also represent that. So I was struggling a little bit with the exterior, to be honest. I don't know, yesterday when I filmed this was not my best day. I was struggling a little bit in general. With this build, I don't know why. I probably am a little bit stressed for because I felt like there were so many things I needed to get done, and it's honestly a little bit ridiculous because nothing was that urgent. But anyway, I struggled a little bit with this exterior. I actually filmed, stopped filming, went back, started filming again, stopped and went back and started filming again a couple of times. I built this house in the same neighborhood where you find the Pancakes House. I don't remember what the neighborhood is called. But I have made this neighborhood filled with quite colorful houses. So there are 3 houses. Which one of the is the Pancakes house that I built, which are basically on the other side of the street from here. We have this house that was pre-made in the game. And then we have an empty lot next to this. So I was struggling a little bit because I wanted to keep it in the bright colors, but I didn't really want to duplicate any of them. And in the end, I end up going with this orange color. It's not as bright of an orange I would have liked, but it looked better than the red, I think. And then I was thinking that maybe the exterior of the house, I don't know how it's in other countries, but I know from where I am, there are neighborhoods where there are restrictions on what colors, for example, you're allowed to put on your house. So I was thinking that maybe this house was one of these, that they were not allowed to do so much on the exterior. So I ended up going with the orange color and white fence, white columns, white stairs to keep it in the same style as the other houses. Also, windows and doors, I was having a little bit of a tough time with this, but I end up using the ones from Seasons, both for the doors and the windows outside. I also did the floor plan twice. I deleted the first time because this video is extremely long already. already as it is, so you didn't need to see my first attempt of a floor plan. But we have the floor plan for downstairs. I choose the flooring here. I absolutely love the flooring that I put in that came from Eco Lifestyle. There is a similar one from Cats and Dogs, and I always tend to try to use other flooring before this one, because otherwise I would use this all the time. So I tried a lot of different things, but I felt like this was the only one that worked, that I liked. And then for the wallpapers, I actually went with solid colorful colors. This is the only room with actually white walls, and that's because that's gonna be the atelier. I think that's the same word, that's the same word in English. But it's basically gonna be the room where Erin and Alice can do their painting. And because I wanted a lot of natural light, because that's normally good for painting, I actually put in these really big windows. I mean, if somebody else would move in here, you could absolutely do this like as a sunroom, or maybe even like well, because of the roofing not being there is some glass roof on this part, but not a lot. So you could maybe use it as a greenhouse, or you could just, if you have maybe a smaller family, remove one of the bedrooms and do it as a greenhouse. I moved the back porch a little bit, and I was again looking for a door, because this one I liked from the outside, but the coloring on the inside was like light wood, and I didn't think that mixed so well with the dark floorboards. So I'm looking for a door again. I looked through quite many options, but I end up going actually with one of the doors that came from Seasons as well. I thought it worked the best with the other windows as well. I don't touch the backyard in this part, because I was building this for quite long and it was impossible for me to make it any faster than it is going right now. So I have to split this build up in two parts, and in the second part I will show you the backyard. This house needs quite many bedrooms, because like I said, Erin has 4 kids and Alice has 1, so that would make them up to 7. And then we can't forget that Alice actually has her father as well living with them in the Spencer Kim Lewis house. So that would mean that she would also, in case of a divorce, bring her dad with him. So we needed quite many bedrooms in this build. And I have the master bedroom. I made a bathroom for just them. Here I add one of the kids' rooms. And then I decide to actually extend this part here, partly because I thought the porch downstairs looked a little bit silly without a roof, but also because I wanted this window from Laundry Day on the back side as well, because I wanted to make like a small reading nook here. And I couldn't do the reading nook on the other side, because I decided I need to make that a bedroom. And that is actually the bedroom I decided to give to Dennis. So because I decided this like randomly while building, I moved the doors to the balconies like this, because it will make absolute no sense that only one bedroom has access to 2 balconies but none of the others. And maybe it's a little bit strange having 2 bedrooms sharing a balcony or so. I don't know. That's how I thought. I love having lots of windows. I love having lots of natural light in my builds. So these bedrooms in the corners with the doors were a little bit difficult, because there was not a lot of space, and none of the bigger windows actually looked good with this door, at least the ones I tried, and since I wanted to keep the same windows from seasons in the whole build, more or less. So that's what happened. I tried adding also quite many bathrooms. Upstairs we have 3 bathrooms, so it would be two hallway bathrooms, and then 1 bathroom that is only for the master suite, or well, other sims could also use it if they went through the master suite. I continued with the quite bright colors here. For the bedrooms, I put in first a solid color for the kids. Then I thought, no, I will actually try this wallpaper. We like the border thing there, or I don't know what it's called. But then in the end I decided to go with some bright colors. So everyone has 2 boys. I decided to put in 1 room, her twin daughters in 1 room. And then I was thinking that Alice, who has only 1 daughter, would probably insist that she can have her own bedroom, because she comes from quite a wealthy family, and she would probably feel like that's what is also fair for Olivia, was an only child. Oh, who knows, maybe they will get more kids, Alice and Eric, but at the moment they only have 1 daughter. Then I wanted to use these really colorful doors. I thought they were quite funky. They are not very easy to use in other builds. And yes, I know it's maybe a little bit chaotic that you have the same door in different colors, but I thought that would just be really perfect for this build. So I will just add a couple of doors here downstairs, and then we are gonna go into furnishing. And I'm gonna do the kitchen here. It looked maybe a little bit strange, but I actually made it work because of this window here, because it doesn't line up symmetrically. And I was gonna go with these like black counters, but I end up changing them because they don't really work, in my opinion. They don't work with the wallpaper, and yeah, no, I just didn't like them. So I decided on the color green, and I actually then found this counter from, oh god, what is the pack called? The farming pack. I completely forget what the name of the pack is. But yeah, I decided on these. I don't normally like to use them in that many builds because of the cabinets having those curtains instead of actually doors. And that seems just very old-fashioned for me. And I don't think my builds are that old-fashioned, but could also work, of course. But I thought in this way they worked. I didn't like how the counters looked with the door, so I changed it for an archway. They do look exactly the same, or they are covering the frames of the archway, but it bothers me less than it did with the door, so that's why it went like that. We're getting the cabinets here. Like I said, I don't personally like these small curtains, but I think it works with the build. I also think that it would work with the style Alice and Erin are looking for in their house. So we put all those in, and I think the gaps don't look so strange as I first thought. And this window, yes, it's a little bit different, but I like that. I was thinking of putting in like a small breakfast nook here, but I didn't like this setup. I tried with this bigger and brighter colored table, but I didn't like that one either, really. It looked strange. I didn't want to put a counter here because it looks ugly from the outside when you see the backside of the counters, so that was not an option. So my next thought was to put in some plants here, which I did. to cover it up a little bit. Then the curtains was a little bit of a struggle as well. I really loved these ones, but I think it was that they clip with the counters that I wanted to change them, which I was thinking no for. I was looking into these, which I liked for this bill, or the style I liked, but there was no colors that really were nice. I think I ended up going with these, yes, from paranormal stuff back, it's called, maybe. Because they have this same hippie-ish bohemian vibe. The only thing is that this window here is 3 tiles wide, and these only go for 2. And I was a little bit thinking here what to do, but then I remembered that City Living has this wall decoration, which looks like this, that I decided to put in the middle. I had it golden colored first, but I went through the swatches to see if I should change it. But I decided to keep it golden because the pearls on the other curtains also looked like this. And here we start with the cluttering. This took me so long. I really honestly tried to speed it up as much as I could. I don't know why the cluttering took me so long, and here I also forgot the stove. Yesterday was not my best day, and I don't know why. I felt really stressed the whole day. And I think it's just because it's the weekend before Christmas, and I don't really stress that much about Christmas. It's just gonna be me and my boyfriend having it, but I think it is just that I want to have it nice. I want to do Christmassy things. I want to have I want to feel that Christmas spirit, and so and I actually try to get so many things done as possible, because I will be working next week, and I have a feeling that it's probably gonna be quite a lot of things. And since it's more or less a new job as well I have, so it drains me quite much sometimes, and that's why I wanted to get so many things as I just could done this week, but because I had an appointment and I had some other things to do yesterday, I felt like I was rushing things and I didn't have time to do everything. So around, I don't remember if it was before the cluttering or after, I just paused everything, took a break, did some other things to give myself a little bit of time to prepare things, and then I felt a little bit more calm coming back to the game. I changed the wallpaper, as you can see, because I like to put tiles normally in the kitchens. I think that is a little bit more realistic to have tiles in the kitchens, and I really wanted to use the base game ones, but because of the wall height and how high I actually put the cabinets on to fit the windows, that wallpaper didn't work. So I ended up going with this from Jungle Adventure, which is nice and colorful as well. I decided on the blue color after trying on a couple of different options. I was thinking on putting tiles on the floor as well, but I didn't really feel it. I didn't really know what color to use, so I decided that no, they can have wooden colored, or they can have the wood flooring in the kitchen. Maybe this is like an old house and maybe didn't have the tiles, so they just kept it like this. I thought the kitchen looked quite spacious, so I was thinking to do like a small bar here, or like a breakfast bar with some chairs. I really love the pink, or I don't know, purplish color I put on the stools. I thought it gave like a nice pop of color, and also the light I put in there, I really like it. It's not that practical or that neutral to put in like a normal build, but I really loved it for this one because we are doing like a bohemian, really colorful build that it actually works well. So I keep on cluttering, changing the colors. I decide that this corner looks a little bit empty, so I try to pull out some more things here to make it a little bit more lived in. I mean, I feel like because Alice and Erin both are artistic or creative, I think it's called in the Sims, the trait. They're creative and they're in the painter career, so maybe these two aren't that organized, like things are left here and there and not put up back when used or something like this. And that's why I wanted to have it quite cluttered. I also looked up some inspiration on Pinterest, and I got the feeling that all of the things I could see from there when we looked for bohemian or colorful kitchens, they were quite cluttered with a lot of things, plants and such, and other items to make it cluttered. So I tried to clutter it up as much as possible. And then I tried to actually put in a rug here again. I couldn't find one quickly enough, so I just moved on to the dining room next, which we will have here. I don't know why I decided to start with the curtains, because it was a little bit of a strange move, but I did start up with the curtains. I decided to go with this from City Living, and I think I chose first this purple color, which I don't know why. I don't really feel the vibes of it with the like bluish wall. And I start, which is strange, I normally go for the table first, but in this build for some reason I actually went for like this shelving or cabinet thing. I think it's maybe because it is my second attempt that I already had something in mind when doing it, but I'm putting in this yellow cabinet. I had kind of the vibes that maybe this is something they found somewhere and just painted really bright and yellow to make it nice. And here I changed the curtains, which I will not keep, and I decided to put in the light. I mean, I was not really in my best sense yesterday. I was stressing this video because I really wanted to upload on Sunday, and then I anyhow ended up doing it quite late on Sunday. This family is quite big. I think there are 8 Sims in total, if I counted correctly. So they definitely gonna need a big dining table. I didn't like the idea of putting one of the bigger dining tables in here. I really wanted to use this table, but as you can see, it's a small table, so I tried to do it like this, but it bothered me quite a lot that it's glitching there. I don't know how it would look in gameplay, but it bothered me enough that I didn't want to keep it. As well as the chairs look a little bit strange here when you put them like this, so I decided to separate the tables just a little bit so they are not on top of each other but barely touching. And here I actually went all into town with the colors. I put different colors on all of the chairs to give it a colorful vibe. I actually really do like it. I end up changing this light because I thought it was a little bit messy, and then I thought these ones looked really good with the yellow cabinet we have here. And now I will go into finding some more decorations to put up on the wall here. I will also add a sofa just to fill up the space. but I had a little bit of a hard time finding some paintings. Could be that, you know, when I have the Sims here, that maybe they do some nice paintings you could hang up. But for now, I tried to find something in build and buy mode. So I did go with these plants from the new kit we got. I don't remember, 1, 2, 3 weeks ago maybe. But I think it's maybe a little bit too symmetrical with 2 of them, so I actually delete this one and I will put in the mirror and another plant, which is like a floor plant. Yeah, this one. And then I tried a few options of mirrors, but I end up going with the nice one from Jungle Adventure. On the other side of this room, I will put this side table and I will clutter it up with just some plants. And I think I added like an extra chair. I was thinking like maybe they have these extra chairs, you could always put it in the end of the table, but I was thinking that not necessarily as it is now, just as a make-believe thing, because I think if you put one chair in the end of the table, I'm not sure if the Sims are gonna be able to pass by. I haven't game playtested this house, so I am not actually sure if that is going to work or what is gonna happen. But as you see, cluttering up this bit, I'm putting up some wall art here as well, on this small little wall. And then of course we're gonna have a rug here as well in the kitchen. And then I believe we move into the last part of this build, which is gonna be this entryway or hallway, or I don't know what you would like to call it. Here it's basically just a room that goes straight. When you enter, you have the stairs, you can continue straight outdoors through the back porch, and then you will have the kitchen here. So it's quite a big room as well, but this would be the main entryway, and I'm just gonna show you this half of this space, because like I said, I was building for so long and it was almost impossible for me to make it any faster than it is now. And I can say I was struggling a little bit with the colors here again. I think it's so much when you have the wallpaper is one color, and then you have to add furniture, and that should be, or I wanted this to be colorful. So I end up changing it a little bit. I think I will keep the mirror and I don't know what to call this, the closet, the thing where you hang your jackets, in this dark blue one, but I will definitely get rid of the carpet because it just is, I'm not just feeling it now. But I put in the umbrella stand, I will put in the shoe rack, and I was having such a hard time finding the shoe rack from the base game. I don't know why. But I also added that because I thought it was looking a little bit more realistic to have it. And I add a smaller carpet here where you can like wipe off your shoes before going in. And then I'm going to add some wall decorations here, which I think I removed because I decided I want to put up some wall lights as well. And I tried a few funny options because I thought if somewhere I can use these really strange or funny options, it's this house. But I actually end up going with these quite neutral ones instead. And I also, because they didn't light up the space so much, I also decided to add like a ceiling light here. Below the stairs, I was thinking first of putting a sofa, but I didn't really like how it looked, so I will change that one to a dresser. I think I added like a mirror, some plants, some other clutter, because I was, like I said, I feel like they are maybe not so organized, so I would think that they have quite a lot of things out of place. Not that it looks disgusting or ugly, just that it looks a little bit out of place. Like I mentioned already, I have split this belt up in two parts because it would be otherwise way too long. So we are almost in the finish of this first part. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and on Wednesday I will upload the second part of this build so you can see how the house turns out, and I will also add the screenshots to that one. Thank you, and I hope you have a really nice day. Dag dag!